Today we're going to be training as efficiently as possible. I'm going to take you through a back workout that also works out my biceps and my rear delts at the same time. When you use compound movements, you work multiple muscle groups at the same time. Perfect example, the ultimate compound movement, deadlifts. Deadlifts will work your hamstrings, they'll work your glutes, they'll work your lats, and they'll work your traps all simultaneously. Today when I train back, I'm going to be using movements like chin-ups that are very effective for your biceps while still working your lats, and I'm going to be doing wide grip rows, which are also going to allow me to train my rear delts simultaneously with my back. So we're going to train an intensive back workout in about 45 minutes today. 11 sets total today, and most of them are going to be compound movements that allow me to accomplish 2 muscle groups simultaneously. That's what I'm going to be able to get in and out from training. The first movement I'm doing is actually a bicep curl. And I'm starting here with actually an isolation movement before my compound movement because I want to pre-exhaust them for when I go and do my chin-ups that are going to allow me to use my biceps and my lats simultaneously. So movement number 1, I'm going to warm up and I'm going to do these lying back bicep curls. I'm doing these with a thick grip dumbbell and I'm allowing my elbows to fall behind my spine so I can get a deep stretch before every single rep. And just like a light warm up here, this shouldn't be challenging. Your warm up should be semi-easy. Okay, we're doing 2, I just did my warm-up set, now I'm doing 2 working sets of seated dumbbell curls. And I'm gonna take each of these to about 1 rep from failure. We just did 2 working sets of seated dumbbell curls. I took each one to failure. First one I got 17 reps, second one I got 16 reps. Typically with my isolation exercises, like something for a bicep, I want 15 to 20 reps, somewhere in there, 10 to 20, somewhere in that range. So I got 17 the first one, 16 in the second one, 2 working sets, 2-minute break in between. Now 2-minute break, I'm gonna be doing my first exercise that involves my back, which is chin-ups. And there's a lot of biceps. Believe it or not, when you look at research, what's the most effective exercise for biceps, and differs of course person to person, but when you look strictly at research, it's chin-ups. Chin-ups are the single most effective thing that you can do for biceps. So, the second exercise, chin-ups. Deep stretch at the bottom. 2. I do 2 sets total for chin-ups. So what we've effectively done is we'll be 4 sets in and I've totally worked my biceps. I've done 4 sets to failure while at the same time starting to train my back. That's what I mean by efficiency. So I did my curls, now I've done these, biceps are done, and at the same time I've started training my back. My next back movement, I'll do something else that works just my lats, and then we'll get into something that simultaneously works my rear delts, my shoulders, while at the same time working my back. Second set of chin-ups and last set of biceps for the day. Last set I got 10 reps, took it to failure. What I mean by failure is technical failure, meaning that if I tried to pull up again, I don't think I would have been able to get my chin up, my chin past the bar. I wouldn't have been able to do a true chin up. And that's what I do. I get to technical failure in this exercise that I know, come down with control, get a big stretch, and I just evaluate, can I get all the way up again? If I can only get halfway up, I don't bother, I just achieve technical failure. So 2.5-minute break in between these. First compound movement. Let's see if I can get 10. Be really happy if I get 8. Let's see what we can do, because I just went to failure on that first one. Okay. Whew. That last one I was like, can I do it? And I managed to. So 9 reps, fantastic. So far if you watch, I went 17 reps on curls, 16 reps on curls. On here I went 10 and 9. I mean, if you're going right to the brink of failure, it's unlikely on the next set that you're gonna get as many reps as you did on the previous one. That's where I really think, are you training to build muscle or are you training to build strength? Because you're trying to build strength, I don't recommend going to failure. I recommend picking a percentile based on your 1 rep max and making sure that you duplicate it through all 3 sets. So like, I would do 3 sets of 8 and know every single time I'm gonna get 8 reps because I'm just working off a percentile. Trying to build muscle, I go right to the brink where maybe have 1 or 2 reps left from failure. Really the research even indicates you have to be at least 3 reps for failure, but I think when you get to 3 reps of failure, it's too ambiguous. Like, I'm not really even sure what 3 reps of failure is. I know, like, damn, I could do 1 more, or damn, I can't do any more. And that's really where I take myself, because if I don't, I'm always gonna sell myself short, and I'm always gonna leave a little too many reps on the table. So we're done with chin-ups, finished out biceps. We're 4 sets into our 11-set workout. Let's go do our next movement. Okay, next, we're doing chest supported rows. I like to do this with a bench rather than a machine. I just find the machine really bothers my extensors, and so I need something that I can really keep my elbows tucked, which is the other reason I like the bench, because the machine is set up so it's kind of an angle like this. If you've ever seen one in a gym, the chest supported row machine is like this, or it's completely flared out. So I like something where I can tuck my elbows. I can get a lot of lats and I can get a lot of mid back. The only key is you need to be able to set it up so you can reach and then pull down. And I really focus on making sure that I'm not shrugging. I don't have a problem growing traps. I used to deadlift a lot. When I was younger, I used to power clean. And so last thing I need is more upper traps. I'm really working on how can I build my mid back, how can I build my lats, and just in general, I think those are way more aesthetic muscles. They make your taper look smaller. So for most women, they're not looking to build their traps. And for a lot of guys you are, but there's other movements you can do for it. So try to really minimize your shrug and really work your mid back. I really reach on every single rep. Then I squeeze my shoulder blades together as I pull with my elbows. So I'm gonna take a 2.5 minute break. I'm gonna do 3 sets on here. We will be 7 sets in total. Then I'll do a wide grip row, which is gonna allow me to work my rear delts and my upper back simultaneously. Really, I mean, we're gonna zoom through this, be done under 45 minutes and get a complete back workout that also allowed me to work my biceps and also let me get a great pump in my shoulders. Here we go. I'm glad I didn't do my hair today because I would be a train wreck by now anyhow. So here we go. Nice and braced. I have plenty of room for even my long arms to stretch out. Grab my dumbbells, I have them propped up, reach, retract, protract shoulders, retract, protract scapula, retract. So when I'm doing any movement, the concentric, which when you row is when you pull, or when you press, the part where you're feeling the tension of the weight, I do that in a very pulsing fashion. I do it dynamically. So when I'm rowing, I pull very hard, but I want to do like a 2-second descend. I want to be under control of the negative. So the concentric, I generate force. On the eccentric, I want to be under control. I want to feel tension on my muscles throughout the entire time. So even if I was doing a calf raise, big stretch to the bottom, fast up, come down with control. That's something like the row. Reach down, fast. Reach down, fast. And we have all the literature in the world on tempos of reps. It doesn't matter if you do a 4-second negative. It doesn't matter if you do a 2-second negative. If you do a 4-second negative, you have to use less weight. You do a 2-second negative, you can use more weight. So they both have pluses and minuses, and they really don't mean jack shit when it comes to building muscle. So now we're doing 3 sets, chest supported rows, and then we'll move on. Okay, so here's the reality with all back. You really only need something where the elbows are tucked in and something where the elbows are flared out semi. That's all you need to do to work your lats, mid back, and to work your upper back and rhomboids. You just need 2 exercises like that. Doesn't mean that there's not variation for the sense of like new stimulus, but your training should really be like every back workout should be 1 elbows tucked, 1 with elbows flared out. I did the chin-ups on top of that because I get a lot of bicep in that while at the same time working my lats a lot. But I got a lot of lat when I did that inside row. This is for my upper back. I'm doing this for my rear delts, my rhomboids, and this allows me to work my rear delts at the same time. I'm gonna do 4 sets of total rear delts. This is gonna get me to, I've done 7 sets so far, 5 sets of back, 2 sets of biceps strictly, or 4 sets combining the chin up. So if you think about it, they kind of lay over each other, where I've got 4 sets of biceps, I've got 5 sets of back, and this is gonna let me finish off where I get 7 sets of back with 2 sets of delts. So this wide grip here in this position is gonna allow me to really work my rear delts simultaneously with my upper back. And what I do with any kind of cable row is I lean forward, I keep my legs very straight so I can pull down. And so I'm not using my lower back to lean back every time. I got a great pump in my rear delts, while at the same time getting that upper back, and I really stretch on every single thing. If you want to take your back training to the next level, I really suggest that you do a stretch on every single rep. So whatever you're trying to do, if you're trying to do those chin-ups, deep stretch to the top. You're in those rows, deep stretch at the bottom, pardon me, deep stretch to the bottom, deep stretch to the bottom. These wide grip rows, deep stretch. I really feel my back light up by stretching it at the beginning of every single rep. So I start the rep by stretching, and then again I pull dynamically. So we're 8 sets in. I'm gonna do one more of these, and then we're gonna do some rear delt work. And that's it, 11 sets, and we're really on track. I'm about 36 minutes into this workout so far. I'll easily be done within 45 minutes and completely train my back, got biceps, and got rear delts. So this is our 11th set. I've done 2 sets here total after this one. We're ending with reverse cable flies. I love this movement for rear delts. I either do this or I do a machine fly every single time. I'm not really into dumbbells for my rear delts. I'm gonna take my left, my right cross. I'm gonna reach the entire time, and then I'm gonna pull away, and this is gonna finish off my rear delts. That's it, we did back, 11 sets. It took me 45 minutes, and to be honest, I even bullshitted with somebody and shot content while doing it 45 minutes. You could probably duplicate this workout on your own in about 40 minutes if you just stuck strictly to business. Back, rear delts, biceps. Look, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. Majority of my following's on Instagram. If you're not following me there, Jacob Zemer. Thanks for tuning in. Super efficient back workout today. How you can use compound movements to really make your training very efficient and get in and out of the gym. Thanks for tuning in.